Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Silver Ana player. If you
Never
guys are
stop
enjoying the
fighting for what
content,
you
please do
believe
like
in.
and subscribe as that helps me out quite a bit. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my
Of
Discord in
course.
the description
Can
below,
I bail
see
you
what
out when you
rates
feel
look
like
like, see what sort of events, promos we have going on,
attackers
all that good
incoming.
stuff. So, I see they're on Zen for the moment, but I'm pretty sure they're mostly going to play Ana. And if they play a little bit of Zen, that's fine too. We'll enjoy some Zen review.
Five, four, three, two, one.
So
Attackers
currently we're
incoming.
on Zen Brig with a Reinhardt Sigma. Okay.
Patience.
Mm-hmm.
My barrier is destroyed.
We're charging right clicks with our... Oh, it's doing the stupid Slimma thing. We're charging right clicks with our Harmony Orb, not where we want it. That's disappointing. Moved it. Okay, so we started charging this right click like right before we rounded the corner, which is silly because now we've opened up our line of sight with only one orb charged. We wanted to stay out of line of sight if we were charging orbs. But more importantly than that, we knew we were about to round this corner. Sure would have been nice to get a Discord orb out. Remember, that Discord orb doesn't just help us, it gives everyone on our team who's alive and has a sight line a 25% damage boost against the target. That's worth more than us charging a right click here. So, like, get the right click or get the Discord orb out first if you know you're about to peek an angle that enemies are on, which there were definitely going to be enemies on this angle. Then reclose the angle by going over here to charge your right click if you want to charge your right click out of danger, etc. Then come back and peek and see and throw your right click, throw your 5 orb with your magic hands, etc. And as you've thrown that, you can look, now do I want to move my Discord orb somewhere better, etc. But like, please get your Discord orb out to start. Don't start charging right clicks right before you get into situations where you're going to be able to put out a Discord orb. Value that Discord orb more highly. Okay, let's move this guy over. Good. And let's go back to watching our Zen disappoint us. Move the Harmony. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Never
And now we're on
stop
the Ana.
fighting for
Okay.
what you believe in.
Wasn't false advertising after all.
Get back in the
Mm-hmm.
I need healing. Walk it off.
No, you don't waste the nade for that. You don't waste the nade for that. I know that you're low health, but this Widow is in 0. I repeat, 0 danger back here. You do not need
Walk
to
it off.
create a 10-second cooldown because someone who was in 0 danger at least 4 seconds before you're ready to push is anxious about getting heals. They know that they weren't in line of sight until right then. It's fine. Complete your reload. And if you were going to do this, you'd at least want to do the reload cancel. You'd want to get your reload far enough that your ammo clicks in, which was there. See how you're still reloading, but your 12 ammo is already clicked in there? If you canceled this into a nade, that would at least be a little better because you could go on to healing this Reinhardt faster. That said, you shouldn't use the nade there. You don't use nade on people who aren't in danger. You use nade specifically to turn enemies purple, to heal groups of people, or yourself, or because it's I'm healing my Reinhardt, and it's not that I'm healing my Reinhardt, it's that the Reinhardt or the tanks or whatever that I'm healing, I need the amped heal effect. I need the plus 50% healing received because I'm going to continue to pump heals into them as they brawl, and like a Reinhardt, Zarya, D.Va, etc. If you're not getting one of those, I guess I said 4 things, please don't use your nade.
Go.
Your nade is not a, oh, there we go.
Activating the barrier.
Hey, Alf. Mm-hmm. What background do I have in coaching? Let's see. I coached for Sydney Drop Bears Phase 2 and Fury all to get top 3 finishes. I did some Tier 3 coaching before that, where in the season I did it, 4 of the players that I worked with between my 2 main teams got promoted up to contenders, even though the teams themselves did not. And then I did chicken contendies and trials. So yeah, that's my background. I'm doing pretty well. What about yourself?
I have your
Out
back.
of existence.
وريهم قوتك.
You're gonna sleep it, right? No, the nade doesn't help enough. Like, I know the nade keeps them alive, which is nice, but clearly the big threat is the Nano Reinhardt that's running into them. So you wanted this to be asleep. And it was very obvious that he'd run forward. You were going to have a chance to sleep him. He's not going to want to waste time shielding in case you sleep or something like that, because he's got a limited window to take advantage of this shatter. The play here was definitely the sleep dart. You might still follow up with the nade to give you guys some heals against other potential follow-up damage from people, but you don't know if anyone else even has an angle on your team that got flattened by the shatter here. So definitely go for sleep dart over nade here. Okay, you were at 0 now. Yeah, that's definitely a nade, not a sleep dart. Oh, nice. Happy birthday, Alice. Hope you have a good day. Hope you get to enjoy it.
That should be better.
Close the angle. I know you're safe, but like if people keep going down one at a time, maybe close the angle harder. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. No. So you need your team to be a threat. That Widow's hitting her shots. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to do this. You needed to let your team... Let's see if I can go back one more instant here.
Enemy turret ahead.
You needed your team to do stuff that made her want to look at them first. This isn't really that. Like, your Sigma's out here, your Roadhog's thinking about out here, but you sort of need to give another moment for them to really gain attention, because she's clearly holding this angle. So what you need to do is make it tempting enough that she wants to look over here instead, and then you've got your chance to peek and perhaps sleep dart her instead of peek and just go down here like, you know, you don't do, but the Widow right behind you does. Your timing is wrong, as your Widow illustrates. And if she hadn't taken that shot at your Widow, it's very possible she'd have gotten you.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Destroyed.
There they are, taking heavy fire. I will shield.
Get back in the fight.
Nope, that was purple. I don't conceptually mind the nade because he was getting pushed, so it's like I'm nading him. Plus, you actually threw it a little bit, you know, sort of in front, even though you couldn't tell if someone was there. There was a decent chance someone was falling and they'd get purpled. So I can live with that. Plus, he was going to be standing in core. You might have wanted the amp healing effect for your continued shots into him, but he was purple. Okay.
Zarya, ready for duty.
Get healed.
Hey, check in.
Activating the barrier.
See. We're going to live. Enemy contact. 60 seconds remaining.
Rally to me!
What is that melody?
You're covered. You're powered up. Get in there.
Let's rewatch a touch there. Let's rewatch the actual open of this engagement. Here we are. Okay, you're working with your Sigma shield
You're
fine.
covered.
You go for that, so your Sigma shield is clearly gone. You probably want to slide in left here to make that Widow less dangerous still, but it looks like you're okay.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Does that Zarya actually have any energy? I can't really tell with all the effects going on. A little bit. But that's fine. You can go with this.
Walk it off.
That's not a great nade. So, like, we're looking at this nade.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You do that. It's kind of... Are you trying to send that to the left of free? Okay, you did. Fine. Okay, no one's really going to push you in this comp, so I want you to use your sleep dart more aggressively too. Like, you could have, again, slept this nanoed Reinhardt. Like, if you look at their comp, none of these people are going to sneak up on you and push you very often. Like, yes, a Torb could show up on a flank, a Zarya could show up on a flank, but by and large, these guys are going to walk straight into your team, so you need to be getting good offensive value out of both your nades and your sleeps. And okay, the nade towards the grav that was going, that your team was afraid they'd have to walk into, etc. Sure, I can live with that, but let's also get our sleep dart value. You've tried the one sleep dart on the Widow, but like sleep darts on Nano Reinhardts are pretty easy and pretty good. Sleep darts on Zarya, probably not, but you could do it. Like, please use your sleep dart. Please use your sleep dart. Recognize that against this team, no one's going to. You don't need it to protect yourself. You need it to help You need it to help your team initiate. You need it to help your team push in. You need it to help your team get mid-battle value, especially with your double off tank line.
30 seconds remaining.
Reinhardt at your service. Take the objective or it's all over.
Bad guys. Heads up.
You're covered.
Okay, I believe. You're gonna nade? There you go. Right idea.
Only hurt for a minute.
Play this angle. Mm-hmm.
Step right.
I have your back.
You don't really want to. So your McCree drew eyeballs to him. When your McCree draws eyeballs to him, that was your chance to rotate. You're not doing much here. He just popped the high noon, so while he was doing the high noon, that was your chance to rotate this direction. Because here you're like afraid to peek, you're worried that you're going to get widowed, etc. And I get it, but when you're McCree high noons, that is something that will draw eyeballs. That is like me saying, hey, I want your team to be a little more drawing attention here. This is drawing attention. And it's a similar sightline to you, but it's the best chance you're going to get to transition across to here, where the enemies don't have sightlines on you, and you can heal everyone on your team constantly rather than have low uptime because you're constantly worrying about the widow, etc., and only peeking every once in a while from here. You wanted to use that window, that attention window, to transition across here. That's going to be important when you're playing into these comps with very threatening poke like Widowmaker.
I have your back.
And, if you'd peeked, you'd have potentially had a chance to sleep the Reinhardt, to get more heals off, to get some damage off. Like, this is, you just haven't been in this fight. And it's because you're not recognizing when your team is giving you the best distraction that you're going to get. So we had some iffy nade use. We weren't using our sleep dart when against a team that we could definitely afford to be using both our nade and our sleep dart against. And we aren't really recognizing what adequately pulls the opponent's attention in terms of teammates' presence versus ult use, etc. How much of that we need to justify traveling through open space against this strong poke comp, and to do it when they do enough.
My ultimate is charging.
Also, did we use our nano at all?
Attackers
I'm not
incoming.
convinced. Oh no, we used our nano on the Zarya.
Objective
Okay.
A.
So 1 nano in 4 minutes.
You're going to be
A little
okay.
bit of healing. Fine.
Go. I'll keep you here.
So you now know their comp, and you once again know that no one is likely to show up on you on a flank. So I want to see you willing to use this sleep dart offensively too. It doesn't necessarily bother me if you wait until your nade cooldown is closer to back, like more than halfway back, 4 seconds out, etc. But I'd like to see you looking to get offensive value out of both of your abilities.
Enemy turret ahead.
Just change the angle. Okay.
Enemies are in the area.
I don't think you saw anything there. I think that was just like randomly praying, but to Rein. Rein's in more danger than Sigma.
This will help.
I'll live with it, but that team is... Your guys are retreating, so you don't really need the heal amp effect here. Okay, you're going to get the Hanzo. One heal, one heal. You have to look forward again. No, you can't look away from your team for this long. Like, even if it's a between shot check, you have to look back to see if your front line needed help more than your Hanzo needed help. Because, hint, they did. This Reinhardt is in more danger than this Hanzo. You'd healed this, like, it is. This Reinhardt's in more danger than your Hanzo. Your Brig went down. Like, you can't just go, oh, this person's low, so they must be the one that needs healing. It was just like when you spent the nade on the Widow earlier. The Widow was perfectly safe. They would like to get healed to get back into the fight, etc. But it's more important to go, hey, I healed him once, maybe I healed him twice. I have to check if my front line needs help again. My front line is actively in danger. My spidey sense, my Ana sense has to be going off of, I need to check. Like, they might be perfectly fine, but I have to turn and check to see if I need to spend an aid, to spend some heals, etc. And then I can pivot back and get the Hanzo again. Like, you can't just go, oh, I'm going to go 3 shots in a row. That's 3 seconds worth of time of not looking at your front line that previously was being pushed into. Like, that's a long time and you know it. And sure enough, you lose your Brig, you're likely to lose your Rein. Because I don't think you have nade to... Oh, you're about to have nade. You might be able to bring him back with the heal amp.
I will keep you healed.
I hope you're saying I'm slept, I'm slept.
Get in there.
Okay.
Heal up.
Yeah. This is because you spent too long on your Hanzo.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء أو يهان.
Unfortunate. Hey Zara, good to have you all here. We're just watching our Ana ignore her front line to heal people who aren't there. You know, the usual stuff. No, no. I know you were trying to get the Brig, but like, no, just shoot the Brig with your shot. Hit your shot. Absolutely no need to waste your nade there. You're gonna probably want to drop here to change the angle. Yep. Sleep. We're gonna hit a sleep, I believe. Okay. That's a nade, which is okay since there's bubbles out. You're going nade is the only protection I've got for them. I don't think it's aimed right. Yeah, I'd have preferred to jump and put it between my Sigma and my Reinhardt, but okay. Now you're going to sleep. You're sleeping. You're sleeping. There you go. Better late than never.
Healed up.
Unfortunate. Oh, is that the end? Okay. Short game.
I'm not ready to hang it up.
Yeah, the scarf is a little sassy today. Okay. So, let's rewind just a touch there. Okay. So, this... I'm getting sleepy? Well, oh, the anti-hypnosis? Well, if I keep telling sleep, 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 oh, that's for me. Yeah, no, must be. Okay, so the things that you want to work on here are, I don't want you using your nade like you are. I want you using your nade specifically for that offensive value, or because you need the amp healing, or to heal yourself. You can get group healing value out of it sometimes, but that should be less of a thing than the other 3. But you're using it as like a, oh, I missed my heals. Oh, I'm out of shot, so I'm going to use this to heal someone who's not in danger. Those aren't okay. Like, those aren't okay. If you're missing shots, that's fine. Keep trying to hit the shot. Seriously. Use it for the 3 purposes of, I'm turning enemies purple. I'm getting the amp heal effect because I'm going to continue to heal someone that's in there brawling, etc. And I want the increased healing. Or... what did I say? Or self-healing, because, you know, there's people on you, you need to heal yourself, your other support isn't doing it, etc. Those are primarily what we're looking for. But then the other thing we're going to get into is you just need to understand who is and isn't in danger. So like you need to understand, hey, my Reinhardt, my Sigma, my Brig, those guys are in danger. My Hanzo isn't. I'd love to heal my Hanzo up. I'll turn, I'll throw a heal at him, but I got to look back and see if they're still in danger. And, you know, there's like a more than half a second delay between shots on Ana's firing rate. So you can check and then pivot back. You can do a quick swing to check and then pivot back if they're not in danger and have not missed any time. But even if that's, you know, too hard, and I get it, that is too hard for a lot of silver players, that's still a, hey, I fired 2 shots into my Hanzo and my front line is about to meet or is meeting the other front line. That's a long time to look away. I better pivot back before even thinking about a third shot, regardless of whether I hit my 2 shots that I was trying to heal the Hanzo with. Like, yes, he's going to be annoyed if you tried to heal him twice, missed both times, and then you pivot and go back to healing your Rein. He's going to be annoyed, but that's exactly what you've got to do. That is the correct play. So please be more aware. Same thing with the Widow. If the Widow shows up when you're reloading, it's say, okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to finish my reload. And by the time I finish my reload, I might have to heal the front line again. And I'll get to you when I can get to you type thing. Like, yes, you don't want to just put her off forever, because if you put her off forever, your team loses a lot of uptime. But losing a little bit of uptime on for her is way better than my Brig, my Rein, my Zarya, my whatever took a trip to the spawn room and now they're down 15, 20 seconds, etc. So please be more aware of you're healing the people who are in danger, you're checking on the people who are in danger, you're less worried about the people who aren't. You'll get to them when you can. If you're working on them, go check back on the people in danger every, you know, between shots, second shot, whatever the case may be there. Was there a thing that I missed there? You only had the 1 nano. That's bad. We talked about your nades. Oh, yeah. The other thing was you have to understand when your team is baiting for you properly. First point was painful because the Widow was just cleaning up on your team. I get it. But you have to understand when there's a dangerous team like that, how you can properly get uptime. And the way to do that, the way to properly get uptime is when your team is a credible threat, when that Widow's going to want to be looking somewhere else. So when your team actually pokes their head out here and is actually doing some work for a second or two, that's when the Widow is going to go, okay, fine, I don't want to not contribute. It's been 2 seconds. It's been 2.5 seconds. I'm going to look. And oh, that's your window. You get to transition across this dangerous spot. Or I'm here. It's dangerous. My peaks are very minimal. I'm not contributing much to the fight. I'm only getting a heal every once in a while because I'm scared. Oh, my McCree is high nooning right here. That is going to pull attention to him. That is going to pull eyeballs. Now's my chance to run across. It's not great, but it's the best I can expect to get, so I'm going to do it. And now my uptime is much better. I can heal my whole team, etc., and I can peek here if I want to damage, or if someone pushes past the threshold like a Reinhardt, I can help damage them, etc. So those are the things I want you to understand. Those are, one second, those are a pretty big deal for playing Overwatch better. So I want you to pick one of those, and I want you to go, hey, I'm going to spend time working on this. I'm going to use like 10% of my brain to think about getting better on this for the next 10 games, for the next week, for the next 2 days, whatever it is, until it sort of sticks. And then once it's truly stuck and it's part of your autopilot, you can move on to the next thing for getting better. So do that. Should help. That'll work great. If there's any questions, throw them up in chat now. Is it okay to use the nade to help heal a low tank like D.Va or Ball, where it'd take like 10 shots otherwise? I don't particularly like it, and it shouldn't take like 10 shots. No, it won't take like 10 shots on anyone really with what, even D.Va and Ball with their 600 HP, unless they're at, no, it just won't take 10 shots. So Ball's going to roll through health packs. If you can give him some healing, great. But most of the time, if you can give him healing, what you run into there is if you feel the pressure to nade them to heal them up quick, it probably means that you're in combat. And if you're in combat, you might have more important stuff you need to do with that nade, etc. Whereas if you're not in combat and the combat is more than 10 seconds away, sure, you can nade heal them, etc. But you also have time to heal them the regular way. So like if you're under enough pressure that you want to nade them to heal them up quickly and they're like to the side, out of danger, etc., then you probably need that nade for something else. You follow what I'm saying? Like you probably need that to help enforce your front line, etc., because they're not in it. That said, can you nade them when they're fighting in the front line and they, you know, a D.Va at like 200 health fighting in the front line, a D.Va at like 400 health fighting in the front line? Yeah, because she's brawling, she's getting brawled, and you can nade her if you expect her to continue brawling because you're going to want the amped heal effect on her. You might try and throw it a little in front of her to also get some purples, but you get the idea. So out of combat, save the nade. Well, if you're out of combat, if you're like completely out of combat, like you're between fights, you can potentially use it, or if you're like in cleanup, you can potentially use it. But like, yes, if the person is out of combat, if the diva is out of combat, but your Reinhardt is still up there in combat, your Winston is still up there in combat, yeah, you don't want to use the nade on them. Incompetent. Well, you know, some of what we review is incompetent, but eventually we'll make some of these players better. Eventually. Okay. I don't see anything else. I do have some other off-stream coaching that I'm doing for most of the day, so I'll try to do some more this evening, but this is all we're going to have for a bit here. So look forward to seeing you guys later, I hope, but that's what we've got. Thanks, guys. Temporal out. Oh, and if you haven't, like and subscribe. It's amazing. I really do appreciate it. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, all that good stuff. For realsy this time, Temporal out.